You are serving the state of Israel. Do you understand me?
Sir, yes, sir.
Bum, 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 Iran. Bum, 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 Iran.
Are you ready to die for the Greater Israel Project? Sir, yes, sir. What about you, tough guy? You ready to die for the Greater Israel Project? You are now serving the state of Israel. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Bum, bum, Iran. Went to a mosque, gonna throw some rocks. Tell the Ayatollah, gonna put you in a box. Bum, Iran.
Daniel! Daniel! Daniel!
Oh my God.
Did you call it or what?
I called it, but man, I wasn't ready to hear Gunny say you work for the state of Israel. Oh man, that was solid. I love that.
You sent me this song how many weeks ago?
I called it. I was like, it's happening. It's going to happen. I can feel it. Like, everything was built up to this point. Like, it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's true. And here I was over here like, no, they won't do it. Come on. They're all bark, no bite. And then they just freaking go and blow the friggin' thing up. And they killed the Ayatollah. Just like that. In the same day. Now, if that isn't efficiency, I don't know what is. I have very mixed feelings.
That's not scary. I don't know what that is either. Because, oh my God, man. First, the president of Venezuela grabbed in less than 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. They can get anybody.
They could beat Domino's, man. They made sure you get that delivery right in time.
Listen, dude, we were supposed to be at the end of history at this point, right?
Yeah.
Nothing was supposed to change. Like, we were always going to live under the same people. The rulers are going to be the same everywhere. The paradigm is shifting, one might even say.
And U.S. is out here going, you guys ready for the hot and ready pizza?
Yeah. It's $5.
Wait, anybody check the Pizza Gate? Anybody checking that? Do we know what the states of DEFCON we are at with pizzas at the Pentagon?
Listen, man, I was live for almost 20 hours this week, just covering the ridiculous Clinton deposition thing. I sat there with the press in the freezing cold. Well, not in the freezing cold. I was sitting in a nice warm office with coffee, and they were standing out in the freezing cold waiting for people to come out and announce what they learned from the Clintons during the depositions. And you know what they got? Nothing. Nothing. The video was supposed to be out today. Today is Friday. No, sorry, Saturday. Today is Saturday, the 28th. Video's not out yet. I was hoping we'd have clips to play. But now we're not talking about it, are we? The Epstein thing got out of hand, so what'd they do? They blew up Iran. Crazy.
It's insane.
I am not, listen, just for all of you guys listening, I am not a geopolitics guy, all right? I don't care about places that aren't here. It's not because I'm not smart enough or whatever. It's because my heart is not that big. It is really hard for me to care about things over there. I'm sorry. And smart boys will be like, well, you should care. It's going to affect everything here. And I'm like, listen, man, I was born in Illinois. We don't know anything in Illinois. You know what we know? We know Chicago sucks. That's what we know. We know that Wisconsin is slightly better. And they have more guns. That's what we know in Illinois. And we know, thank God, Illinois might be bad, but thank God it's not Indiana. That's as far as I go on geopolitics. So, what I will say is that what we do on this show, and Daniel, you can back me up on this, what we do is we analyze messaging, right? We talk about propaganda, PR, the way things are framed, all that stuff. That's our expertise.
Yep.
So
it's pretty much right on the money.
So if we open our mouths and our own foot comes flying through and breaks out our front teeth, you know why when we're talking about geopolitics. We don't know a friggin' thing about it. But what we do know is media and media messaging. And you know what? Speaking of this, Daniel, I feel as though it might be good to start with things that Americans know, right? Like, we're comfortable here before we get all into the Iranian stuff because, Lord knows we know nothing about it. I think we should talk about what Americans care about. What do you think?
Oh God, yeah, we gotta go right to that first, and then we'll get into the politics stuff of nobody really understands, but all we know is oil.
Right. All right. So this is what Americans care about. This is. Oh wait, I don't use TikTok very often. How do I unmute this?
I actually don't
There it
really
is.
use their desktop site.
I got it. You ready for this? This is what Americans care about.
New Baja Blast Cologne. I tried Baja
Taco Bell's Baja Blast Cologne.
Cologne. I tried.
This is what Americans care about.
Yeah, really, it is. Actually, this is American capitalism right here, right in like the big screen.
We are simple folk, right? Now, here's the thing about Americans. And I'm gonna speak here as a red-blooded American man. All right. We don't understand the complexities of your goddamn diplomatic agreements that you have over there in the Middle East. We don't understand an ounce of it. You know what we understand? Gas prices and Baja Blast fragrance from Taco Bell.
Tried Baja Blast ice cream before. Now we have the Baja Blast Cologne collection. That was not on my bingo card. You might be thinking, Kyle, what do you know about cologne? Well, some of you might already know that I have a collection. Here is what my current cologne collection.
What's that? Did you say that the Ayatollah has been blown up? I'm sorry. I'm over here learning about Baja Blast fragrance.
Looks like for anyone interested. Rate my collection out of 10 in the comments. So yeah, this is the Baja Blast flavored cologne. And then this is the Mountain Dew Baja Cabo cologne. Let's try, you know what? I'm going to try the orange one
Oh
first.
my God.
Atomizer check, shout out Cologne Boy, fragrance knowledge. Ooh.
Donate to the show so we can make Daniel smell like Baja Blast permanently.
You know what? If we get enough donations, I will buy it and like actually try it and see how it smells.
Donate to the Baja Blast Fund. You know, forget
instead of buy me a coffee, buy me Baja Blast.
Yeah, so when your parents get that letter in the mail that's like, you could feed an Israeli elderly woman for $9 a week. Just remember, you could be sending that $9. Tear it up. First of all, tear that up, throw it in your parents' garbage disposal and turn it on and, wash that down the sink. Send your money direct to the link in the description. There is a Stripe link. Make sure you tell us it's for the Baja Blast fragrance and we'll get it.
Oh, it kind of smells like an older person's cologne, but then it has an orange citrus top note, which is really good. All right, and then we got the actual Mountain Dew Baja Blast cologne. Oh my, hold on. It's like a nice tropical citrus scent, 8 out of 10, and then this one, a 9 out of 10. I just got...
Yep, see, that's what I care about.
Yep.
And Americans...
I agree.
Just to draw a little bit of a connection here, Americans are very simple people. For the most part. When we decide we like something, it's pretty much for good. And when we decide we're done with something, it's also pretty much for good. We're a very stubborn people. You know?
I agree. Yeah, yeah, pretty much that.
So if Americans suddenly started hating Taco Bell and Mountain Dew Baja Blast, we might just nuke it in the middle of the night so everyone wakes up and sees that we killed the CEO or something. That's a joke. That's a joke. How about this? Did you see this? Dunkin is testing a new 48-ounce drink bucket in select locations in Massachusetts and New Hampshire. Customers can fill the oversized bucket with iced coffee, iced lattes, or refreshers in different flavors. Look, feast your eyes on that. How can you not love this?
You know what? Honestly, I'd buy it. I would 100% be in on this.
How big is
I actually,
this?
for one, really am happy that like Dunkin actually gives, when you order a large, you get a large. You go to Starbucks and whatever, their stupid goddamn the same sizing for calling everything a large. You know, like grande, in every like an actual large is not even a large, but like grande is like large, but not even a large because they don't even know terms of what large is. For their actually what is supposed to be a freaking large on their menu isn't even that big. It's like a medium.
Yeah.
for normal soda drinks.
Does it feel? I mean, this is like bigger than a supersize, right?
Oh yeah.
Does it?
This is great.
Does it feel like we're just repeating the early days of the global war on terror? Like this is just like around the time we were like all starting to get fed up with Iraq. You had like the Super Size Me documentary out where people were also getting fed up with gigantic drinks and fry buckets.
Oh my god, yeah. I just didn't think about that.
I mean, I'm not saying that that's where we are, but I am saying that we're stuck in a time loop, Daniel. And there's no way out.
I'm having like an existential crisis over here now thinking about this. Wow, we are really going backwards. It just feels like we're in a loop nonstop every second, and I'm like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like things are just going to start getting bigger again. You remember shrinkflation? Now you get bloatflation. Or
To be fair,
burgerflation. What?
I was like, to be fair, if it does where everything just gets bigger, I actually will be okay with that, because then for once I feel like I'm not getting screwed out of items.
Yeah, you know what? And these are the positives, right? America's going to war. So what, right? That means there's going to be a lot more money flowing through the United States. We might just all get rich again. Somehow.
And that'd be a dream. That would never happen, though.
Listen, did I ever tell you about the time I sat next to a steel executive on an airplane once?
No.
I leaned over. I must have been like 19, right? So I didn't know shit. I just leaned over. I'm like, how's business, right? Like, he's like, oh, yeah, I work for this steel company. I'm like, how's business? He's like, no good. I said, really? No good? Like, you're not, like, people don't need steel? And he goes, no, you don't understand. People don't need as much steel. And so the companies are just sort of like shrinking. And I was like, well, you know, me being 19, I'm like, well, what's the goal? What's the strategy to get things back? And he goes, I hate to say it, but we need another war. And I was like,
yeah,
another war. He's like, yeah, we need a war really, really bad. So now we get our buckets back. Feast your eyes, Americans. Feast your eyes. Donald Trump did this for you. Fox News found ice cream being made out of plastic. World's first ice cream made with plastic. You heard it right. This version of the sweet treat is actually made from the same materials found in plastic bottles. So you're going to get your bucket. But real ice cream? Really? Did you think things were going to get better?
World's first ice cream made with plastic.
Man.
You heard it right. This version of the sweet treat is actually made from the same materials found in plastic bottles.
Magnum isn't plastic. It's even worse. This fake cream is diluted, stripped, then rebuilt. Guar gum, mono and diglycerides, and artificial vanilla. But the real problem is carrageenan. Researchers literally use it to intentionally injure guts in lab experiments. Haagen-Dazs scan was clean, but Magnum, lowest score on the app. Severe heavy metal contamination and
oh no, not Magnum. What is Magnum? What is it?
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
I've never heard of Magnum ice cream.
I've only heard of one thing that's Magnum. It would be over in the adult section of a store. So yeah, okay.
They're poison.
It would be poison to eat.
Yeah, you don't want to eat that Magnum. But this Magnum also has these scary science words in it. Plastic ice cream. Welcome to the future. So now your bucket can be filled with plastic ice cream.
And now your bucket can be filled with also more microplastics. We're at that point now.
Yeah, you can have a plastic bucket filled with more plastic. And then you can eat it, and you can turn into you can turn into a plastic golem. That's gonna be you.
All I'm waiting for is the guy from Pit My Ride to come out and just go, "Yo, dog, I heard you like plastic. So you put plastic in your plastic so you can have plastic. So I'm waiting.
Yep. Yeah, man. So I knew, Daniel, that we were going to have to talk about Israel, Iran, all that shit. I'm so tired. I know. This is why I front-loaded the show with as much slop as I could find, all right? Because I know it's suffering for both of us. And we like slop. There's a thing going on in America right now that I don't know how to... I haven't come up with the exact right joke word for it. But it's something like slop jobs or slobs, like jobs that can only exist because we live in slopland.
We're moving on from dirty jobs to sloppy jobs.
Yeah, sloppy jobs, slobs. They're slobs. That's what they are.
We'll come up with something good, just like you did with ice wads.
Yeah.
So good. Speaking of which, my dad says he really likes it, and from now on, he's going to use it when he refers to any Canadian.
As an ice wad? Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, those poor Canadians. But slobs, all right? Slop jobs. I saw a clip this week. Maybe you saw it. This was about this lady's last day working for Roblox.
No, I actually did not. I'm actually kind of shocked I didn't see this.
I picked this just for you because we did cover a little bit of Roblox a while back. But they've lost one of their brightest shining stars. It's this lady.
Today's my last day as a senior software engineer at Roblox, which means after 5 years, I can finally spill all the unfiltered office tea now that they can't fire me. I start every day at 9 a.m. at my favorite place, the buffet, of course. It's free breakfast every single day. My go-to is congee, zero nutritional value, but it hits every time. Afterwards, a stop at the coffee bar is mandatory. Look at this bare latte art. The Roblox baristas could literally quit and open a 5-star cafe.
They have a breakfast buffet. They have a coffee bar, and she doesn't order coffee. She orders whatever this green matcha. That's what it is. She orders matcha. And then she sits at 9 a.m. drinking her matcha all alone in the Roblox lobby. And she quit this job. Probably to take a promotion at another company. Slobs.
Every time it's always like it's people wonder how like if they ever lose their job or things like that because of if something like this. You spend like 20, like maybe like more than 20, like 90% of your day is spent at the goddamn cafeteria section of their building, eating food, drinking coffee, and doing fuck all, and maybe reading a book if they're lucky. And then 10% actually doing the damn job.
Well,
let's find out. We need to downsize. I can't believe I lost my job. I wonder why.
I don't know if she got fired. She doesn't talk like she got fired. But let's see what her actual job entails, though.
At this bare latte art, the Roblox baristas could literally quit and open a 5-star cafe. Then it's time for meetings because no tech job is...
Meetings.
So,
she's sitting alone in a conference room, taking a selfie. To talk about what does Roblox have meetings about? Like,
how much more can we get predators hooked on this game so they can get children?
I was going to say, how do we get Jeffrey Epstein to endorse our company from Beyond the Grave?
How do we get rid of Chris Hansen? Yeah, all that fun stuff.
Wouldn't it be great, guys? I know this is crazy, but wouldn't it be great if we could get Chris Hansen to do an endorsement ad for Roblox? And then everyone in the room goes, oh, amazing, amazing. And they can do it because they're all, billionaires.
It's because no tech job is complete without endless Zoom calls and scrolling Slack. Lunch is the dangerous part. We've got multiple...
They have Labubus at lunch. Look. I hate that I know what a Labubu.
Sure it's a Labubu and not a Lafufu? It's not the knockoff that we were talking about?
Listen, it's Roblox, right? They got all the money. They can do whatever they want. They can get friggin' genuine ass Labubus. And that's what they put around their salad and protein bowls.
We've got multiple cafeterias on campus, all with the best food I've ever seen at any tech company.
Is it weird that people call places of work campuses now?
To be honest, no.
I suppose not.
Most like these tech companies just feel like a college now.
Yeah.
They seem and like think exactly like how college do. It's just It baffles me. It's not even a place of business anymore.
You know, it's like you go from school to college to big person school where you earn your rent money. I mean, what is this? Does the American worker sympathize with this woman? No.
I've definitely gained weight here, and my weakness was the sushi days or the clam linguine. Free food hits different. Afternoons are a mix of coding, ping-ponging, and snacking. The snack area is stocked with healthy treats and tech bro fuel, aka kombucha. Also, this water dispenser that's in like every tech company in Silicon Valley. And yeah, part of the job was literally playing Roblox.
It's a water fountain, Daniel. It's a water fountain with a touch screen. You can add a vitamin boost or a caffeine boost to your water.
All right, hang on now. I can tell you right now, this is not in the U.S. due to the fact it doesn't say Coke all over it, and it's just soda flavors.
No, it's Bevy. It's Bevy, B-E-V-I. You can get sparkling, light sparkling, cold, ambient, or hot. And you can add infusions like blood orange, cucumber, peach, mango, etc. And then it tells you how many bottles you saved. And this Philistine pours her water into a mug, Daniel, it's a mug. Who drinks water from a mug? Swine. All right, I'm being a little dramatic today.
Like how all you're hating is the mug, and I'm over here like this is not in the U.S. just due to the fact it doesn't say Coke on it, and it's not sodas that are coming out of this damn thing. This is too healthy. This isn't the U.S. I know this already.
In Silicon Valley, and yeah.
It's in Silicon Valley. It is the U.S. It's another...
I don't believe it.
It's another freaking planet, man. They live in another planet over there.
Like I said, not in the U.S.
In Silicon Valley. And yeah, part of the job was literally playing Roblox. The best part was power tripping in game with my admin badge. But between you and me, I didn't actually have the power to ban anybody. At 5 p.m., I logged out for the last time, literally touched some grass, and waved goodbye to the office I've known for 5 years. So long free food, so long kombucha, so long kanji with no nutritional value. Maybe I'll see you at my next company. And spoiler alert, my standards have been raised.
Oh boy. I have no words. You know, I bet we could get a job like this, right?
You know what? I actually think we could. I think we'd actually improve it.
Well, no, you see, because we're men.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't let us do anything. If we went in there and we'd be like, guys, I don't know if we need to have like 500 bottles of kombucha in here. They'd be like, how dare you? We keep our slaves very happy. And we'd be like, maybe we don't need 500 extra personnel playing Roblox all the time. Perhaps.
It'd be like, hey guys, I think our security standards against, people of older age. Oh, hang on, I just lost my job. Wait a minute.
Yeah. No, listen, we could do it. We would just have to update our LinkedIn, right? You have a LinkedIn, don't you?
Of course I have a LinkedIn.
Everyone has a LinkedIn.
We're all a part of the scheme that is the pyramid scheme of LinkedIn, that you'll never get a job and they just use it to ban the people that actually want to get a job from there.
No. My favorite post I saw about LinkedIn recently was somebody saying the kind of people who post on LinkedIn are the kind of people who post on LinkedIn to say they're grateful they got laid off. They're grateful to their company for the journey.
It's so good.
It's so crazy. Yeah. So I found this one. This one's funny. This is every job application you've ever filled out. And you and I have done this many times.
Hey, are you gay? What race are you? Do you have a disability? And is it gonna make my life more difficult? What race are you again? Your choices are Hispanic and not Hispanic, because those are the only two races. Do you know someone else that works here? Oh, you don't? Lame. Are you a veteran? Oh my god, what war did you fight in? Do you have PTSD?
Yeah.
Man, these are good.
Yeah, man. I told you, I didn't want to talk about it. I really didn't want to talk about it. We will. Don't worry, we will. I know some people want to talk about it. But listen, I prefer to focus on domestic issues You know, I care about America. I care about Western countries where everything is going to hell in a handbasket, but at least we can still do war. This is the end of the empire. How about, but that's the thing is like there's always a bright side to everything. AI is just around the corner. This is the latest scheme. You can now use AI to put yourself in a superhero movie with your family.
Hold on!
This is insane!
Upload a family photo, and now you're superheroes.
Let's finish this.
Yes, Dad!
That's my boy.
Yes!
Your kingdom awaits.
You can put your family's pictures, your pictures, and your freaking dog's pictures in the AI, and it will turn you into a superhero. Bam Bam Vid, the cinematic movies starring your family. Upload your family's pictures to the Matrix. This AI just made Disney irrelevant. Turn your kids into a hero for their own 5-minute movie. Same character throughout, full nursery rhymes and adventures.
Attention, Master Builder Elon. The construction team needs you. Today, we are building the biggest, coolest, super fun park ever. Our first mission is to clear the ground.
Isn't it so cute, Daniel? You can do this to your children before they know what's happening to them. You can have them already ensconced in the Matrix before they can say no because you're their parent and you're an idiot.
God. This is great.
Sell your child's data for a movie where they're Bob the Builder. Daniel, another thing, there were so many things happening this week, but one of my favorite things that happened this week is that the word Goyim became, popular. And I think the funniest two words put together, and it makes me laugh every time, is Goy Beam.
Okay. That's really good. That's another good one.
So it's like, imagine being so goy beamed you upload your family to the Matrix so they can be in the Incredibles.
Oh my God. Man. It's so good just to see people sell away what would be almost the equivalent of their soul just straight to any random company.
Listen, I think the Native Americans were right. They had this little display at Mount Rushmore where they had pictures of Native Americans from way back when the first cameras came out, and they said, you can't find many photographs of natives because they thought that the camera stole their soul or part of their soul when you took a picture. And I've thought of that ever since I saw that, probably when I was 25. It has never left my brain because I think they were right.
Excavator. The mighty digger uses its big arm.
I mean... Where are we?
We're at the point of Uncanny Valley. It's every time I ever see any of these videos, it just feels so odd and just Uncanny Valley feeling.
I know, man.
We'll never escape it. I don't get it. I don't know why.
We are surrounded by goy-beamed individuals who think that this is cool.
I'm telling you, more and more. Didn't we have this conversation about how every tech bro was like, this is going to end Hollywood. This is going to stop Hollywood. Gaming industry is so over.
It's so
and
over.
It's every bro patting themselves in the back that just really loves AI that much, hardcore. And I'm like, this has to be bots loving each other on Twitter.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't make any other sense.
Yes. It's literally cancerous. It's cells that refuse to die. And it just spreads. And these people are like, oh, this just killed Hollywood. No. First of all, Hollywood killed itself. And this is why. Because they knew that even if they put their heart and soul into a production, this is why they stopped trying. Nobody would know the difference. That's why. Because, you know, some people are just like, oh, look, I did it in my phone. Now I'm the superhero. And my children think this is cool. Ay, ay, ay. It's, you know, just do it. Here's a little clip from a podcast interview. Chris Camillo says AI is accelerating so fast that going to school might not be worth it anymore. I mean, shit, what freaking they got a freaking Labubu in the background.
You know, ever since you pointed those things out, they just appeared everywhere. Now I'm getting worried.
Freaking everywhere. All right.
I've always been pretty hard on my kids when it comes to them doing well at school and not missing class. One of my kids recently, they turned 16 recently, and they drive themselves to school and they slept in. And I was so astonished at first. I was like, I cannot believe, like, how does that even happen? Like, if I would have done that when I was a kid, the thought of what my parents would have done to me. And like, but there was a part of me in the back of my head that was like, does it even matter anymore? I'm just like, I'm looking at my kid going, why are you even in school right now? I know that seems crazy, and I can't really say that to them.
He's right. The wrong way around. Why are you even in school anymore?
Yeah,
but he's, sorry.
I was like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, for the reasons what he's probably going to say, I would disagree with, but the agreement of why bother anymore. It's so bad, the educational system here.
It is. It's I know I explained this on behind the Patreon paywall in my reading of what's his face, I can't think of it because I haven't done it in a while, The Crowd, by Gustave Le Bon. He was talking about oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. He was talking about all of this. He said that school is basically training you to be a robot in 1895. This is what he said. But I was also talking about how what it helped me develop was this idea of the Herod strategy for destroying a nation, which is that among the Americans, there might be a few really good ones. So what do? You do the Herod strategy because the good ones might challenge you. So you make everyone stupid and malnourished and fat. And then you never have to worry about it again. That's what they're doing. It's the Herod strategy. Why go to school when you can learn it from an AI? Well, how about what if all the information that you're learning from the AI is the same you'd learn from the school? This lamp is from IKEA, by the way. I know because I have it. Anyway. Why go to school? It's making you dumb. Why learn from an AI? It's making you dumb in a different way. This is not knowledge. This is not understanding. This is not wisdom. And this man is arriving at that conclusion because what? Because he thinks ChatGPT is going to take care of his fatherly responsibility?
But I'm like, does any of this really matter at all right now? Like, what are you even doing? Like, the world is moving so quickly, and I can't even imagine the stuff that you're learning, how slowly it. And by the way, guys, I mean, it's gotten to a point where every single kid in America is using AI for every single assignment and every single test. It's actually, I don't think people realize it's like close to 100% of every high school and college student is using AI for close to everything that they do.
How do you prevent that? Because let's just say, because I'm thinking if.
Hold on. Before Junior here wants to say something, I need to back up here. He said something in here that's really interesting. All right, let me see if I can catch this again.
Like, the world is moving so quickly, and I can't even imagine the stuff that you're learning, how slowly it. And by the way, guys.
Okay, so right there, he just revealed something about himself. Do you have any idea what that is?
No, actually.
The amount of stuff that you're learning so slowly, I can't even imagine. Things are moving so quickly, right? So what did we get right the wrong way around again here? He's saying that schools can't teach you this information as fast as you can learn it from a computer because he still equates having more information in your head with being intelligent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, so like, let me put this in another way. He's saying, why memorize the encyclopedia when you can carry the encyclopedia in your pocket? Fair enough. But he also says the world is moving so fast. So what he's really getting at here is that the kind of intelligence that schools have been teaching us is not intelligence, it's referencing. It's how quickly can you reference information. You know, we had flashcards, right? Growing up, we had to learn our sums and multiplication tables using flashcards. A ChatGPT is just a really fancy flashcard. It puts the things in your head, right? But what he's getting around to, and he won't say it because he doesn't know it, but what he's referring to here, how can we keep up with the speed at which things are moving? The answer is, my friends, wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom helps you process information very quickly. When you have wisdom, you can filter out the stuff that's useless and doesn't make sense. The problem with most categories of study nowadays is it's like creating a bigger and bigger reference file to the point where it gets so large that everything becomes completely relative and thus irrelevant for the most part. What we need to be teaching our kids is the roots of things. What we need to be teaching our kids is wisdom. You know, it's like instead of learning Spanish, learn the roots of Spanish, learn Latin, learn that sort of thing. And then you have access to being able to read a bunch of different languages that all, are rooted in Latin. Does this make sense to anybody? Anyway. It is amazing, though, that people are still like afraid of AI because it's going to replace them. It's like if you can get replaced by an AI, that's on you, man. Anyway, that was a rant. Did you have any thoughts on that?
No. I think we're good to keep going.
All right, cool. Here's a story about a guy breaking into someone's house to spray Raid on their food because everybody's going insane. There he is.
He tried basically killing us.
What looks like something out of a true crime series unfolding inside this Santa Clarita home. Surveillance video appears to show a man, identified by investigators as Timothy Bradbury, spraying what looks like insect killer onto a couple's food inside the kitchen they share.
They're both having bad stomach pains and throwing up and didn't know why.
The couple, David and Billy, say they had no idea it was happening at the time.
God, I've been in the emergency room like 6 times in the last 6 months, and they couldn't tell me what's wrong.
They say discovering this video may have saved their lives.
What if it was...
Now, hold on. Did this man snap because these people are filthy? There were bugs all over everything, and he was just like, I told them that food is rotten. They need to get rid of it. And then they ate it and couldn't tell the difference and went to the emergency room several times because they couldn't taste the Raid. What I am suggesting is that this man is red-pilled beyond help. Everyone's insane. These are things that are happening at home.
I'm not just slowly. I think I'm more and more. My thoughts of opening back up the asylums. That might be a good idea.
It might be.
It might. It honestly might be. We are in that direction again.
So this happened around Christmas last year, so it's a little old. But like, if you repeatedly eat Raid sprayed on your food, and you repeatedly go to the hospital, and they tell you you ingested something that made you sick, wouldn't you throw out all the food in your home?
Yeah, I mean, like, after all the tests, they would have had to found out, hey, there's like some chemicals that would be poisonous for you to eat. Are you eating poisonous chemicals?
Yeah.
And your answer would be no. And then someone would probably say, well, you might want to be careful because I'm pretty sure someone is poisoning you, or you're ingesting something poisonous in your house you might want to get looked at.
This guy adds a little context. The dude broke in multiple times, stole meds, cash, and IDs, and then poisoned them, got a misdemeanor, and was released. Clown world. Yes, that's the other side of it.
You said it.
You shouldn't be allowed to do this, but not. Misdemeanor.
We are.
All of these people should be in the asylum. Oh my gosh. All right. I have delayed this, and I have delayed this, and I have delayed this. Are you ready for Trump's big announcement? Because we both woke up this morning and Trump made an announcement. And it was very scary.
You know what's funny? First I want to talk about, I was at work and they did the I think it was his State of the Union.
Oh, God.
I was at work when that was going on first. That was nice. So it was on, I got to listen to that. It was interesting enough here and there, just kind of walking by, hearing it. And then today, waking up at like 9 a.m., I get the first message I get from Aaron is, we're going to play the Bomb My Ram song finally. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Something must have happened. So let me go check, right away opening up TikTok, because just why not for the first moment I wake up. I'm bombarded with all the media talking about this. And I'm like, oh, it actually happened. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I was right.
I told you the day was coming, and you were right. You were totally right. All right. Well, without further ado, we should just get to Trump's announcement here. We all saw this, and it was utterly terrifying when he just came out and said it. So.
Hello, everyone. It's President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty. It's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist, and everyone will know exactly what it's for, who it represents. It's really going to be something special. It's for your favorite president. Get your watch today at gettrumpwatches.com. These make a great gift.
Horrifying.
Horrifying news.
And then he mentioned something else. I mean, we couldn't possibly forget it, There's my war face clip. Here's the announcement. All right. I haven't watched this. Let's see it. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I know it's 8 minutes, but I got to hear from the orange's mouth, Everyone's favorite tangerine god. I got to know. Did you watch this already?
No, I haven't watched anything yet on this. It just amazes me every time he's ever doing anything like this. It's always with a random hat on.
Yeah.
Makes me think he just rolled out of bed, just threw on a suit, threw on the hat, and was like, "All right, good enough. Let's get to work."
I bet they have this little studio set up in his bedroom. Right? They just hang a little pipe and drape and put up the podium, and then you're right, he rolls out of bed. This right here, this is literally not a suit. It's just a picture held up on sticks. He just stands behind it.
He's just in a t-shirt and boxers with dress socks on.
Yeah.
Walks to the side and you just see that.
Yep. The man hasn't even had his coffee. I don't know if he drinks coffee. He's like Mormon, right? He doesn't drink alcohol. Does he drink coffee? No. Diet Coke.
I think, it was just Diet Coke, I believe.
Oh, man.
A short time ago.
All right. I'm sorry, but this is something so when I was streaming for 20 hours this week following that deposition, I learned the thing that I always learn, which is that people who do media for politics don't know how to turn up the volume. So I always have to do it for them.
The United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels in international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror. and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal.
So we've got a laundry list of bad things Iran has done for like 30, 40 years. 50 years. I can't do numbers. It's been a long time. Yeah. So if we understand this from the average person's point of view, it's like, oh, holy shit, I didn't realize they were doing all that. You know? But the problem is it's a little late to be doing this, right? Like the programming on how bad Iran is has only been coming from like the neocon side of things, like the Mark Levins and Ben Shapiro's, right?
Yeah.
You don't really like just be honest with me. Do you feel like an internal like guttural hatred of Iran?
No, God no.
Okay,
never did.
And are there countries in the world where you do feel like that? Like you just like would never want to go there. It's a horrifying place, etc.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah,
I can give you one if you want it.
Yeah, give me one.
Oh, UK. Easy. UK, Canada's a second close one to that one.
Oh man, I was gonna say Somalia or something like that.
Oh, that'd be another good one. Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Like when I think about Somalia, or I think about for whatever reason, some South American countries, I'm like, no, it's not for me. Never gonna go there. Don't really care what they're doing, just as long as they leave me alone. Like, just stay away. But Iran, for whatever reason, the programming wasn't strong enough on Iran. I don't feel it like that. And I don't think most people do. So that's why he has to lay out all this context of like, well, here are the reasons, but it's not persuasive, is it?
It's like you're talking about stuff that's happened way, way back, and at this point, it's like too late to even try to commit to it.
Yeah.
That's like saying, hey, man, this guy did all this heinous stuff when he was and is like at 15 years old, but now he's 15. We got to treat him that way. That he's a bad guy. So
now some people would come along. Some people would come along and say to us, you should hate Iran. Here are the reasons why. And they would say, well, they did this and they did this and they did this. And here's the horrible massacre they did over here or whatever. They. And it still doesn't stick. It just doesn't stick because it's not been a part of our cultural narrative to have an enemy in that country. It's like, oh, Iran, I don't know. Come on. Like it's not strong enough.
It's not, because the way I look at it is also with all the amount of like the Middle East is always in turmoil and hatred and pumping that out. It just kind of like nullifies it to the point of like, it's never going to matter what you do to the Middle East. The Middle East is always going to fight each other. They're going to fight everybody else. Let them figure it out on their own, or just duke it off the entire continent. That's it. Call it done. Who gives a shit anymore? Finish it out.
This invites a very important question, right? Why, and how is a populace of people on the other side of the planet that spread from sea to shining sea, how are they supposed to care about what happens over there? These are normal working people, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are we supposed to care? We just haven't been hit with enough propaganda. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people out there be like, well, you should hate Iran because they did this, this, and this. I'm like, it doesn't work. You have to get people for a long time or show them something extremely shocking for that to work. But to go back to my original point, why should people on this side of the planet care about what's going on that side of the planet? And for the United States, the answer is very clear. Our greatest ally lives there. Which makes people go, well, why? Why is our greatest ally there? And it's like, oh, it's the only democracy. I can't remember who was playing it, but there's a clip going around of frickin' Ronald Reagan talking about this. I think it was Newsfist who was playing a clip of this on already in fist. They were like, this is really old. Here's why. I think it was them. I'm not 100% sure, but when you really try to like zoom out from geopolitics and focus on domestic issues, which is all I really care about, none of this makes sense. And you can say all day long that Americans have been killed by the Iranians and all this stuff. And it's like, over the course of half a century, I'm pretty sure there's been other countries from the Middle East that have done that too, and we don't want to blow them up. Or maybe we do. I don't know. What do you think?
I really don't know if I have too much on it, or then I can go on to the side of how to get people to like fall in on it. Like, oh yeah, Iran's bad, you know.
Yeah. Tell me what you would do.
Like, there's an easy way to do it is just swap out all the commercials of like pets that are in need with the Arms of the Angel song and just put, you know, that kind of propaganda there. You tug at the hearts of the people. Easy. Well, that's another
perfect.
option is I would like it. To me, it's so interesting to see how like best like game right now I'm playing Helldivers 2. The propaganda they used to, like for all the enemies we're fighting in that game. It is so strong that you get everybody to become the hive mind of like, yeah, down with these things. We gotta destroy them, you know. And it's just amazing how the propaganda works so well in that. It makes me wonder if people ever just thought of like maybe, I don't know, getting game developers that work with like video games to do their propaganda for it, because I think it'd go off the top. Because like there's that. There's also Foxhole, and that's like almost World War II, like one kind of like trench warfare. And you're building through techs and levels to get to planes and boats and tanks. And they also have two factions going against each other. And they have great propaganda for it. It's just like amazes me how like nobody's ever thought of reaching out to the teams that run this kind of like ideas of propaganda and just push it out that way for what it is right now in the real world.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be super effective.
I agree with you. And we may start to see more efforts like that in the coming days. But all of that rah-rah propaganda, that all those guys got fired. I think it's Halo ODST. You remember the one where the guy's not like training and he goes on the dropship or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And it's got that like, I don't know, Gaelic song in the background. I don't remember what language it is. But that is freaking effective. And if we see more of that, I don't know if it's going to work, because the propaganda wing of the military is so bad right now. I just don't know if we're going to see it. Anyway, I want to get back to Trump for just a little bit longer. I want to see how he justifies this laundry list thing, or not justifies it, but I want to see how he wraps this up.
Something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again. They can never have a nuclear weapon. That is why in Operation Midnight Hammer
Operation Midnight Hammer? Was that the one from before? Hang on.
June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to...
So it's the nuke story. That's what did it. Oh man, do I have the clip of JD Vance? Let's see, JD Vance. No, I don't think I have it. JD Vance went out and repeated the lie. We think they're building nuclear weapons, which we've already played a montage on this show of Benjamin Netanyahu for saying that for like 30
we
years.
could just go with that clip. Let's re-roll that back one from the history archives we got here.
Yeah. Okay, good enough. So they're gonna blow them up because they're trying to do nukes. The whole world is it getting involved? Keir Starmer announced that the British the RAF, I don't know what they even call it anymore, but they're going to be supporting it. Here's the little soy boy himself here to announce
Earlier
it.
this morning, the United States and Israel struck targets in Iran. Iran has since launched indiscriminate strikes across the region. I know the British people and communities across our country will be deeply concerned about what this means for security.
It means you're going to have a lot more buses turning into piñatas, bud. That's what that means. So have fun.
Security and stability, and for the fate of innocent people across the region, which for so many of us includes friends and family members. So whilst the situation is evolving very quickly, I want to set out our response. The United Kingdom played no role in these strikes.
Oh, thank God.
But we have long been clear. The regime in Iran is utterly abhorrent. They have murdered thousands of their own people, brutally crushed dissent.
And isn't that their aren't they allowed to do that? Or no? I mean, I seem to remember hearing from my one friend in London that you have to worry about saying the wrong thing online or you're going to go to prison. They brutally crush dissent. Didn't I just see something about a giant rape gang inquiry that was going on over there, in which a lot of girls died, but we couldn't talk about it because that's what the state wanted? Yes. Don't states crush dissent all the time? Isn't that what they're supposed to do? Or no?
No. Come on, Aaron. What are you talking about here?
You're right. You're right. When you do it to your native populace and you're a Western country, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No. Now we have a problem with it because we want something from them. Oh, here's the Vance clip. Yeah. Let's see here. Same thing every time, man. They can't get the audio right. It's just too freaking quiet every time.
Can you explain to the American people why the United States would need to strike Iran to stop them from getting a nuclear weapon if the United States obliterated their enrichment program last summer?
Well, I'm not going to make any news on Iran today, Caitlin. I'll let the president make those announcements. As you know, he is sending two of his best negotiators to Geneva tomorrow in order to continue to try to strike the best deal possible for the American people. But the principle is very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. If they try to rebuild a nuclear weapon, that causes problems for us. And in fact, we've seen evidence that they have tried to do exactly that. So the president...
You know, I have a question. How many countries have nuclear weapons? Do you know? Let's see here.
More than I actually realize, if I remember.
Yeah, how many countries have nuclear weapons? Let's find out. 9 countries possess nuclear weapons. You have the United States, Russia, France, China, the United Kingdom, Pakistan, India, Israel, and North Korea?
Yep.
Huh. That's interesting. That's interesting. Israel has 90 of them?
More like 3,790. You like that little toss in there?
Yeah, they only have 90 of them. Okay. Right.
Sure.
Yeah. How about 3,000? Yeah, that's good. 3,990. Yeah. 3,000. Oh, my gosh. It's all a little ridiculous. And this was earlier this week. It was the same thing. We cannot allow Iran to have one nuke. Okay, fair enough. They're scary people, I suppose. But that's the story, right? That's the story, is that they have nukes. And I, honestly, from the outside, that's very, very weak. That whole narrative for why we need to do that sort of thing is played out, man. Everybody saw the clip of Netanyahu saying that for 30 years, right? Everyone saw that. They should have come up with something better. They could have made up anything. But it seems like everyone's lazy. They don't even really false flag us anymore. They just do it. And we're all so traumatized and horrified we can't do anything about it. And here he is himself. Everybody did 8 minutes on this, but I can only listen to like a minute, maybe. This is Netanyahu speaking to us from beside his plastic Israeli flag. Again. He can't get his mic right either, man. Who is doing this? It's as if there's a conspiracy to never...
Man, this is the best from the Israel PR team.
Crazy. I can't understand what he's saying. Can you understand that?
No, he is out there speaking Swahili, and I don't speak Swahili.
Hang on, maybe it's just not loud enough. Let me turn it up a little more.
מבצע שאגת הארי. מטרת המבצע, לשים קץ לאיום ממשטר האייתולlah.
I think he's drunk. Listen, he's slurring his words.
בשעה זו תוקף צה"ל מטרות של משטר...
All right, hang on a second now. I'm starting to suspect this isn't in English. Hang on. Let me go see if he did one in English. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here it is.
הבוקר יצאנו, ישראל וארצות הברית.
No, but he also only recorded in one ear. You know how easy it is to just get the audio in stereo?
למבצע משולב להסרת האיום הקיומי.
Plug in the other cable. For Pete's sake. It's like 2 seconds. All right. Did he do one in English anywhere? No. He was too busy partying in India. Can't be bothered. This is the most...
Real. This guy was on a late night bender of excitement.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't possibly do it. You know, maybe in this video, maybe he says it in English later. You know? Like I could see him doing it twice.
שישראל ואיראן החופשית.
No, nope. He didn't.
You're gonna have to read what it says, Aaron.
That's okay, because I don't really care anymore. Let's see here. So this guy says, Shadow of Ezra says, Benjamin Netanyahu is now demanding that the people of Iran start a civil war in their country and overthrow the current Iranian regime. Netanyahu says he alone will create the conditions necessary to achieve this goal. Help has arrived, and now the time has come. All right. If that isn't a classic strategy, right? Blow up the leader, start the civil war in the country, destabilize everything, and then when everyone's all tuckered out, that's when you ship in the Dunkin Buckets. Welcome to Globohomo. We're glad to have you. I still have my wagey maxing stream thing. Turn that off. We need to do donations before we go any further. We have some people to thank for supporting this show. We actually got a new donor out of Florida, if you can believe that. Florida man has spoken. And he actually emailed me asking how to donate. So I'm gonna before he figured it out. So in order to save everybody time, just so you don't figure it out, if you drop the little box under the video, that's the description. You push the little description button, you scroll down, and where it says donate, and there's a Stripe link, click that. You can send as much as you want with a note that we'll read on the air. Any price. If you want stuff, you can join the Patreon for as little as $5, and you get access to everything extra that I'm doing behind the scenes. A good portion of that is evergreen content, so whenever you join, don't feel like you're going to be hearing yesterday's news. All right? Sound good? So I've been messaged by Miss Producer. She says there might be another donation in there. So let me just see. I wonder what's going on here. This is highly unorthodox to be getting messages about another donation in the middle of the show. See, this is the only problem with Stripes. It takes forever. We do have another one. It's from Miss Producer because she wants to be on top. She sends $50 donating to the Baja Blast Cologne Fund. Daniel, please review. Daniel, please review it. Yes, absolutely.
All right. We got it. It'll be done.
All right.
I'll look into it.
So I need to Venmo you $50 is what I'm hearing. But anyway, so our
tax returns, here I come.
So Roby from Florida, Robbie, he'll have to tell me if it's Roby or Robbie. I'm just going to say Roby because that's what it looks like. Roby from Florida sends 20. He says, I would love to know your favorite historical figure that you never covered on We Talk About Dead People. No Jesus, Hitler, or that Hitler. What do you take me for? Just because I make fun of Israel doesn't mean I like Hitler. All right, I'm just kidding.
But we talk about him every day. It's the
You're
guy
right.
in orange. It looks like an orange, right?
Yeah. Oh, I can't say Trump. God damn it. I really wish we'd have covered Trump when we talk about dead people. And we would have covered Hitler, but the reality is, and we would have covered Jesus. But here's the problem. The only way to get on We Talk About Dead People is you have to be a dead person. And we know that Jesus and Hitler are not dead. Yep. Jesus exists eternally in heaven, and Hitler is living with Charlie Kirk and Agartha. He says, no Jesus, no Hitler, or that weird guy who started Islam. I am here to watch. P.S. I just sent you an email. And that was him asking how to donate. And just to repeat, everything's in the description, whether you're on video or audio only. If you want to contribute to the show, just scroll down, and there it is. It's very simple. Now, as far as my favorite historical figure, I had to actually think about this for a good long while, and I landed on somebody that we never covered on the show. And I'll make my answer very short. I wish we would have covered Hadrian. That's it. Hadrian. Because I saw his wall when I was in Britain that one time, and I thought that was really dope. There's a million other reasons, but I'm not going to get into them right now. Thank you.
I think...
What was that?
I think my favorite, but we did cover it, was Black Bart.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was
so good.
That was in the early days when we were doing joint stuff, when We Talk About Dead People was still kicking. But yes, thank you, Robbie from Florida. Robbie. Maybe we'll just call him that from now on. Next up, we have Scott from Tasmania. He sends 15. He says, hello, boys. Tasmania's still here. I've just been deep going through 8 seasons of the White Vault audiobook podcast just to unplug. But I am back, now catching up on the real world with CTC Tassie Devil Sound. Oh, my gosh. It's been a while since I played that one. Where is it? So while I look for this, actually, the White Vault, I looked that up, and that looks fascinating. It appears to be a like a serial podcast that's about people up in a great snowy northern country discovering something under the ice. I don't care where it is. That sounds interesting to me. So I will probably check that out. Here's your Tassie Devil Sound. Just for you, my friend. We have missed you. Welcome back to the real world. I'm sure now you want to climb back into that White Vault and stay away from all of this.
What a mess.
And last but certainly not least, we have Tom from Texas. He sends a C.S. Lewis quote, which makes me very happy, of course, because I have read no other book than any book that C.S. Lewis ever wrote. I don't read anything else. Courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point. Yes. One more time, because I like it. Courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point. Indeed. And that's it for our donation section. Of course, we have our patrons, and I'm not going to get into the habit of listing all of those guys because I hope someday we have so many I can only flash them in the credits like all the big guys do. But right now I have this really extended credits sequence in which our patrons all get a a special title that I designed for them. So I think John McPain got weapons expert or something like that. Join the Patreon. I'll give you a credit, and I'll make it up, and it will be funny. This is a warning. So, shall we dive back in? This is the news that I got moments before coming on the air with you, Daniel.
News for us at this hour. Trey?
Yes, Sandra, we just got this in literally 2 minutes ago, but Fox News can confirm that Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead following Israeli strikes against his compound and location earlier today. A senior Israeli official confirming this news. Earlier tonight, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described...
He ain't dead. They got him. They put a black bag over his head. They left some old guy they found at the bowling alley there, and they said, we killed him. And now the man is in a black site prison. That's my opinion.
God. I think that'd be amazing if that was the case. But at the same time, this has got to, if it's true though, like if this is true, that they got him, 100%, this has got to be a world record.
That was quick.
They just keep breaking it. It was super quick.
They were like, listen, we are not going to do another Saddam Hussein and have to dig up every hole in Baghdad to find him eating Cheetos and watching TV. We're not doing that. Just hit him with a bunker buster. I want this to be over. I want it to be over. But now what happens, right? So the supreme leader is down or in a black site or joining Hitler and Agartha. I don't know. We're in the fog of war. And this brings up something that I should have introduced earlier, but it's called the 3-day rule, right? You know about the 3-day rule? Have you heard this? It's like the 5-second rule when you drop your Cheetos on the ground in your little bunker in Baghdad.
No, I've heard about this.
When big news happens and everyone has an opinion, wait 3 days. Wait 3 days. And you'll look like a prophet. Because everybody else thinks they know what's going on, right? Let the dust settle.
Okay.
Be calm. We don't know what's real right now. It's called the fog of war and growing up in a surveillance state that pumps your head full of propaganda at all times. And just like the kid in the AI video, you know what they've been doing to you your whole life?
What is that?
They stuck you in a little matrix of your own. You don't know nothing. Everyone is so disinformed and knows so little. The only hope we have is to either shed max and live in the woods or develop wisdom and focus on longer-term things than the fleeting things of the news cycle. Yes, that's the 3-day rule. Wait. Just wait 3 days. Then you can have an opinion. Let's move forward here. I want to go back to something because I played this on my 20-hour stream. Or I didn't stream for 20 hours straight, but I just had the thing up. We were just watching a building. I was working the whole time. But I just stuck it up there because I thought people might want to tune in and listen or something. Or wait with me in the cold with those poor press people. I played a little bit of this Tucker Carlson's little diatribe that he put out after interviewing Huckabee. And it was fantastic. He laid out the exact case as to why we're in this. The Israel connection, it was almost airtight. It was fantastic. But here's a little clip of that. I recommend the entire thing, even though it's too late now, about what's going on in the Israel connection.
Everybody knows the only reason we're having this war is because Israel wants it. This is their last chance, they believe. This presidency is the last presidency where they're going to have unequivocal bipartisan support. Period. You can't primary every Thomas Massey, and there's a whole army of them coming at some point because everyone can see what's going on. And you can shut down X, and you can shut down the internet. You can be like Great Britain and arrest people who protest Israel, but attitudes are not going to revert to what they were 5 years ago. Sorry. And they know this. So this is their last chance. What's so amazing is that Israel, which at least is acting in what it perceives to be its own national interest, is joined by its shills in the United States, of course. But really, its only other ally in this is the American news media, whose job it is to tell you the truth and inform you as to what's happening, to tell you, hey, wake up. The world could be changing, and it's going to affect you and your family. That's their job. And instead, they've been lulling you to sleep with the same variety of transparent lies and propaganda.
I mean, bang on, right?
Yep, bang on that one.
Bang on. They have lost us. And one of the funniest things that Tucker said in there that I've heard repeated, and I couldn't believe it, is that they're going to try to replace America as an ally. And you know who they picked? According to these sources, I don't know if this is true. You want to guess who they picked?
Man,
think about it.
You know
There's Russia, China, right?
I was going to say, you know what? North Korea. Lately, it's been North Korea as everybody's ally.
Oh, that would be hilarious. The North Korean-Israeli alliance. India. The word on the street, the word on the street is they're going with India because they have billions of people and nuclear weapons. Huh.
That's interesting.
I wonder. So they're also like rapidly, as quickly as they can, buying up all the news media. They bought TikTok, et cetera, et cetera. But have you noticed that like every tech CEO is now an Indian, including the one that just replaced the guy at Xbox?
Yep.
Huh. Now, I'm not casting aspersions on the fine Indian people. Not at all. But why is it only them? Why? I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it's interesting. All right? I'm a media man. I don't know anything about how anything works except that when you want to record in both ears, you need to plug in both goddamn cables. All right? Or you need to do it in mono. Whatever. You know, I'm not a geopolitics guy. But it does seem a little weird to me. It does seem a little weird. So I recommend listening to this explanation that Tucker gives. He basically is trying to pull boomers out of the matrix and explain this is what's been happening for like 40 years to your brain. And that really pisses some people off. So there's this legendary post following Tucker's interview with Mike Huckabee. Professor Jeffrey Lax, this CUNY professor, which is probably like the worst. Well, that's a slur in some countries. He says, I never ever thought this day would come, but for the first time in my life, I'm going to compare a human being to Adolf Hitler. Oh, hang on a second. Let me read that one more time with the right music. I never ever thought this day would come, but for the first time in my life, I'm going to compare a human being to Adolf Hitler. Better?
Dear God. That's what that is.
Understand that I am the grandchild of 4 Holocaust survivors. I've spent a lifetime urging people not to compare anyone to Hitler. I even wrote an op-ed in the New York Post days before the 24 election blasting people for comparing Trump to Hitler. But, ... Tucker Carlson's views, rhetoric, and influence remind me of Adolf Hitler. This situation is as dead serious as a heart attack, and with J.D. Vance now expressly and abhorrently legitimizing Carlson's views, we are in a national anti-Semitism state of emergency. Hang on. I usually reserve this for other things, but no, actually, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. I was going to play the bear alarm, but I'm saving it for the bears. A national anti-Semitism state of emergency. So I'm going to add Professor Jeffrey Lax's name to the end credits where it says hysterics provided by. Where I already have Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, and Michael Rappaport. Now we're going to add Professor Jeffrey Lax. Tucker Carlson is like an American who isn't going along with it, as far as I can tell. He's not your Mark Levin. He's not any of these guys. I'm not even saying he's a great guy, but Tucker and Candace and Megyn Kelly, even Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, all of these people are forming a new alliance, and they have generated enough trust at this point for most people to take them at least a little bit seriously, even if Candace is a little crazy. All right. She just started a documentary on Erica Kirk, which is very interesting. But anyway, no. What we want to hear from real Americans. We want to hear from Mark Levin. We want to see him adjust his glasses. Hang on, I got to pull up my Mark Levin button. Nope, that's the wrong one. Well, I'll play this one just for you.
The bums will always lose.
All right, just for you. It's been a minute.
Appreciate it.
So this is Mark Levin. I believe this was before the strike. So this is what he had to say, and this was going around, of course, because he is going insane on Twitter.
That they must destroy civilization. They believe today that they must destroy the West. Most prominently, the United States of America. Those nuclear ICBMs aren't aimed for Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. They're aimed.
Are you sure? I feel like Iran would aim its nuclear ICBMs that it doesn't have anymore since June last year, which they got again, and we blew them up this morning or last night or whatever. My brain is all confused because I'm a dumb American and I need a burger. No, they're not aimed at Tel Aviv. They're aimed at the United States.
Nuclear ICBMs aren't aimed for Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. They're aimed for New York and Los Angeles and Chicago.
Please, fire the missiles. Fire the missiles, Iran. Please. No more Chicago. Please. End it. End it. We don't have the strength, Iran.
We've tried selling it. It just doesn't want to leave us. No. Any day now.
Aim for the listen, aim for the west side. If you hit it hard enough, it might just break the whole thing off and make it sink into the lake.
We might actually have that one, what was it, the San Diego fault happen finally. God, it would be amazing because they could stop hearing people going, it's going to happen. It's going to happen like next year. It's going to happen. Next year comes around. Never did.
Can we rent the San Diego fault line and just put it next to Chicago for a weekend? Asking for a friend.
Everywhere in between and around the United States of America. They're working closely with the Communist Chinese, Putin, and North Korea. And we are on the precipice, I believe, of finally addressing this so that we can have peace and security and prosperity. We haven't bothered that regime. That regime has been kidnapping, slaughtering, maiming Americans since day one.
Day one? Day one of what? Day one of Iran? Hang on. We're looking this up. We're going to learn a little bit of history. How old is Iran? Let's see here. Since day one. Iran is one of the world's oldest continuous civilizations with roots dating back 5,000 years. Oh, wow. They've been doing nuclear-tipped ICBMs for 5,000 years? God damn. What? Man, look at this. Look at this ancient nuclear facility. Right there. You see that? Those are the missiles right there. These sons of bitches. We should have done this a long time ago, Daniel.
Slaughtering, maiming Americans since day one.
Look, he knows that was a stupid way to say it. Look at him look down. He's like, since day one. Maybe that was too far.
Since day one. It seeks a nuclear weapon to destroy us. And any terrorist group that runs a country that murders 50,000 of its own people and would murder 1 million of its own people will have no hesitation about firing nuclear warheads against us.
I feel like there might be some context missing. Now, again, I'm not an expert. I don't know shit, man. I'm a media guy, all right? But when you just say they murdered 500,000 of their own people.
Murder 1 million of its own people. That murders 50,000.
50,000 of its own people. When did that happen? Who was counting? I wasn't there. I don't know anything. I'm Joe Schmo, average American, okay? Do I just believe that? And then when he says they'd murder 1 million of us, do I believe that too? Who's they? It's unclear.
It's just like we're entering levels of like absolute craziness again.
I know, man. It's hysteria.
It's brain salad.
Here's another one. This is so he hates Tucker Carlson, of course. But you know he's a good guy because he's got a fluffy dog and a picture back here, and there's boards behind him. You see? This is what real conservatives believe in. They believe in the American flag, antique lamps, your own books stacked 10 high, and boards. Or pictures of boards. Whatever. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, he's too quiet. Hold on. You got to turn up that Shure there, buddy.
Is there a massive national...
No, he's still too quiet, man. This is nasty. Hang on.
Backlash today to what we're seeing with our modern-day isolationists? Is there? Is there a massive national backlash against the heinous things that Carlson and Owens and Bannon and their ilk are saying, this cabal?
Cabal?
Well, there are people speaking out. But is there a national backlash? Have you heard from Republican leaders? Look at the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has been devoured by this movement. It is, at its core, isolationist, anti-American, pro-Islamist.
Whoa. Whoa. Isolationist, anti-American, and pro-Islamist? These are words that do not apply, except for isolationist, which is a slur for saying that we don't want anything to do with your goddamn desert country. Go live there. Right? America, I know, America does conquest all the time. But the American people really want nothing to do with your shit, okay? But nobody cares. It's like Huckabee said in that interview. We take it into account. We take it into account what the American people want, but we still do what we want to do anyway. Right?
Yep.
We don't want this. We don't want this. But, not wanting it is pro-Islam.
Anti-Israel and growing. Anti-Semitic and growing. But we conservatives, constitutional conservatives, many of us who are Republicans, this element is growing right in front of us. In our party, in our movement.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is there an outcry over this? I don't think so. Should Tucker Carlson, who is the modern day Charles Lindbergh, without...
Do you hear what he's saying, Daniel?
Yeah.
What's he saying? What are you hearing from this?
What I'm hearing is, guys, why are we not upset about this? This is a state of national Israel security here. We need to support them.
Right. So, but what he's saying
it is our sworn duty to protect our government. That is Israel.
Right. So what he's referring to is the fact that the left now hates Israel, and there's a growing element within the right that hates Israel. And he's wondering,
as it should, and not like hate, like it is a strong word. I would put it more of like, we shouldn't care. It's not our government.
Right. And he's sitting here pretending to be clueless as to why this happened.
Yep.
I can tell you exactly why it happened, and I can do it without being mean about it. You tried to play both sides, and you lost.
Play both sides, and then they sat there with the spoon of Israel going, you got to eat it. It's good for you. And everybody's like, no, not anymore, please.
Yeah.
No more. And then now we've had enough of it. And it's just, everybody's tired of it. It's the same thing. They don't change it. maybe shake it up a bit and you might find some sympathy in people. But the problem is you're feeding them the same guilt trip that hasn't worked ever.
This is the perfect storm. It's the perfect storm. The Epstein files coming back into public view, being released. Okay, seeing Epstein refer to Americans as Goyim, as a slur. And then we get Goy Beam popularized out of that, which I still think is hilarious. Thank you, Jeffrey Epstein, for popularizing Goy Beam. We cannot ignore that there is a cabal of people who are very tied up with this. I mean, that was one of the things that Huckabee was called on by Tucker in that interview was, that Israel won't extradite child predators that are of an Israeli nationality that they have in their country. They won't extradite them to the U.S. to be prosecuted for their crimes. How do we ignore this? And then Levin's like, well, whoa, constitutional Americans believe in this thing that's airy and keeps causing you to lose and has devoured your sons and daughters for half a century, following the victory that America and the West won in World War II. Everything's gotten worse consistently since then. I need you to hug and kiss your Constitution. That will make it better. Oh, how did the left become anti-Semitic? Because you're the last remaining group of people or state that still acts like a state from pre-World War I. The only one, aside from like North Korea and maybe Iran. Everybody else is globalized. What's up with you guys? What's going on here? The left has been trained to hate colonizers. You are a colonizer. That is what you are. That's what that state represents. And I'm a media guy. What I'm explaining here is that the messaging has failed on both sides. The narrative has failed on both sides, and Mark Levin is going to be out of runway very soon. There ain't no $7,000 strong enough to pay for your Facebook posts to save you from this one, buddy.
Modern day Charles Lindbergh, without all the heroics in his past. I mean, Lindbergh was a hero. Carlson's a nothing. He's been a media figure. But I focus on him because he's one of the leaders. Is there a great national backlash? Have the Republicans in Congress called him out as a group and distanced themselves and the party from him as the administration? This isn't about the Jews. No, this is about whether you love this country or not. And we have free speech and freedom of association. We have judges that will not allow us to deport the enemies of the state, the enemies of our country. And they are here, and they are active, and they are loud. We have homegrown enemies within. Some of them come from very rich families. Some of them are billionaires trying to influence you. That peace in our time is achievable. Achievable. But for the warmongers, but for the Jews and the Israelis and Netanyahu who's trying to drag us into a war.
Uh-huh, yeah. What about them?
That's right. But for the hawks, no more war. No war with Iran.
Yeah, uh-huh.
These are the useful idiots who aid and abet our enemies. They did it before, and they're doing it today. Please speak out. Please help defend our country, defend our troops.
Oh, they need to retire Mark Levin. They really do. Somebody needs to get in front of this guy.
Somebody needs to tell him, dude, you got your own brain salad going on there.
Yeah, if only we had a younger, fitter, more attractive man. With a microphone. A better microphone, I will add.
If only the question is his audio just as good?
Let's see if he's loud enough. What do you want to bet he's loud enough?
The running train that it has been, everybody's been having horrible audio. I'm gonna put I put $50 down saying that his audio is garbage.
All right, let's do it.
There are really several issues that are.
He's plenty loud. Yeah.
All right, Ben, you win this round.
On the the table with regard to what the Iranian regime must do or should do. One, no nuclear program, not no nuclear weapons, no nuclear program, because, of course, a civilian nuclear program can be converted into a military nuclear program pretty quickly and easily. And the Iranians simply saying we won't build a nuclear weapon is no assurance they won't build a nuclear weapon. That's called the JCPOA, and Barack Obama did it. He also talked there about the ballistic missile development of Iran, but he did not really link that ballistic missile development to concessions that Iran must make. This has been sort of an open divide inside the administration. Some members of the administration are pushing the Iranians. They need to give up their ballistic missile program as well so they can't threaten surrounding countries and allies ranging from Israel.
Ben, get to the point. My God, you're too much data. You're talking too much.
And as the president says, are building long-range ICBMs theoretically capable of even hitting American territory. And then there's the question.
Theoretically capable of hitting American territory. All right, I know. You're big into theories. What's the quote here? If America doesn't step up, Israel may have to attack Iran himself. I want to make sure that that's what he says.
Here we go. According to CNBC, the U.S. and Iran are poised to hold further nuclear talks in Geneva on Thursday. Again, he says that his
he's just scrolling through
preference
Twitter.
is negotiated endpoint here. The question really, in the end, is going to be whether the president of the United States is too concerned about the possibility of a multi-week air campaign against the Iranians to actually do it. And the Iranians just bluff him. That's really all this is about. No one is talking about a massive ground invasion of Tehran. No one is talking about a long-term occupation of Tehran.
No one was talking about no one? So we're not going to have a war, Daniel?
You know what? Hang on. We'll find out. Let's go to Vegas and betting odds, and let's see what they're saying. We'll know from that fact. I honest to God at this point. Nobody else can say it, but if Vegas thinks so, then we're going to war.
But when we get blown up in the sandbox, I hope our dog tags are touching.
Nobody is talking about hundreds of thousands of American boots.
Sorry, what?
I hope you think that, but I also hope on the Vegas odds on our dog tags was if you bet on him, you lost.
On the ground, in theater. Nobody's talking about that. The question here for the president is, what is the risk reward here for a multi-week air campaign to defenestrate the IRGC and the Ayatollahs and the mullahs in Iran? And then whatever happens, happens. Because I will tell you that everyone else is watching. If the United States backs off of this and cuts some sort of unbelievably weak deal, the consequences will not just be for the Middle East, where Israel will be forced to ramp up its military even more and probably go and attack Iran itself, given Iran's capacity and increasing capacity in both nuclear and ballistic missiles.
You know, Daniel, I said for years I would never compare anyone or any country to Nazi Germany. I said for years I would never compare a person to Adolf Hitler or a country to Nazi Germany. I said for years. But do you hear what he just said? If we do not get what we want, we will have no choice but to double our efforts, to arm ourselves to go to total war with everyone around us. Does this sound like another landlocked area? Well, not landlocked, but completely surrounded by its enemies area on the map somewhere 80-something, give or take, years ago? Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy.
Yes, we will have to. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Can't believe I just said
Big deal. The consequences will not just be for the Middle East, where Israel will be forced to ramp up its military even more and probably go and attack Iran itself, given Iran's capacity and increasing capacity in both nuclear and ballistic missile development and its renewed attempts to support terrorism. But aside from the Middle East, the Russians are looking on. The president has put a lot of pressure on the Ukrainians and not enough pressure on the Russians. They're probably thinking to themselves, the United States is backing off. They probably renew their offensive in Ukraine, redouble it, triple it. China probably looks at Taiwan and says, why not blockade Taiwan? Who's going to stop us?
Right, because they're more powerful than we are now. They can do more things than we can now. Now, they don't have the same number of nukes that we have, but China knows what it's about, doesn't it now? And Russia kind of knows what it's about, doesn't it now? Yeah. The United States knows that we're about Dunkin Buckets, okay? Because we've had a third column in this country that has decided to do the Herod strategy and make everyone brain dead and fat and hate each other the whole time because they were so scared that something could happen here that they pulled the Herod strategy. And while they were really busy with those schemes, now we're in trouble. He got upset because people were suggesting that President Trump has been forced into this. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe. I've heard some people say that Trump is doing this because he doesn't want the Israelis to go insane. An interesting take. All right, so let me see what I got here because we're running low on time.
No, while you're looking, I can tell you I did look up some information on the betting odds.
On the betting odds of what?
Of everything going on with Iran right now. It's
okay.
The next leader is there's betting odds for that. There's also when the new leader will be put in. There was one on is the supreme leader of Iran actually dead? The odds in that are actually pretty high.
So no black.
Who started the first strike between Iran and Israel? Who started it on the end for the operation? The odds are split pretty evenly.
All right, fair enough. Yep. Makes some sense.
So yeah. There's a lot of betting odds here. It's kind of interesting.
Well, there's no reward with no risk.
And another option is, will Iran strike the Gulf oil facilities? The odds for that, 50% chance, pretty even.
We're going to see now, aren't we? So there's this thing. Ugh. I wish Adam was here for this one. Because, we grew up with people like Huckabee. But Huckabee hasn't been able to stop himself from continuing down this road of just slobbering all over Israel. I mean, he can't help himself. The man is hungry. He's a hungry man. When they made the TV dinner called The Hungry Man, they just stuck his face in the meatloaf.
You just hear the song Hungry Eyes playing in the background.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here he is talking about oh God, which clip is this? Let me check real quick. Oh yes, this is another one where he says that Jews are the foundation of all morality. Let's see if we can find
What
this.
an honor to be here for this incredible ceremony. Mr. Prime Minister, Secretary Rubio, all of the wonderful people who made this possible by their generosity, contributing.
You hear that little woo?
I was just saying, good God, with the microphone, could somebody fix that?
It's called it's called feedback.
I was saying, could somebody fix the feedback here?
You're supposed to catch all that stuff by doing tests before you stick your keynote speaker up on stage. But they didn't do that because nobody in political media knows how to do their jobs, or they don't care.
By their generosity, contributing to something that is historic and something that is a living memorial of what God has done. It was 4,000 years ago here in this city on Mount Moriah where God chose his people. He not only chose a people, but he chose a place. And then he chose
a people, a place, and a purpose. The same stupid line he used on Tucker. I am so sick of this crap.
And then he chose for the people in this place a purpose. The people were the Jewish people.
P. It's always P. What is their obsession with PP? PP, Daniel. PP. Why? Why are they?
You always think down there. That's why. Everything down there.
The place was Israel, and the purpose was to be a light to the world and to show that we don't have to look for God because he is looking for us. And that is what so separates.
What? So God is, hang on. I'm going to have an aneurysm. God is looking for us. Yes? That's what he said?
Yep.
Why can't God find us? Isn't he in heaven with a big telescope?
Apparently not. He's stuck behind the floating trash barge that is Israel, I guess, and he can't see his goddamn people.
The long history of why this city is so important. Those of us who are not Jewish, we thank you for giving all of us a foundation of morality and decency and civilization upon which our...
Really? Foundation of morality and decency.
For giving all of us a foundation of morality and decency and civilization.
Really? And civilization? Really? Hadrian. Hadrian.
Upon which our own faith is built, for without yours, we don't have one.
Oh. Okay. So, it's good to know that is the foundation of, the faith, allegedly, that, the Israelis are into. Have you heard of the Israeli cum squads?
Israeli cum squads. PSR, or post-mortem sperm retrieval.
Why? What? Did something happen?
Hold on. Okay, I'm like, as soon as you said what he started, I'm like, I can't believe this is actually going in that direction.
The foundation of all morality, without which Christendom never could have existed. Hard cut. Israeli cum squads.
Post-mortem
Welcome.
sperm retrieval is a technology developed in Israel. Basically, it's a policy of extracting semen via cryopreservation from deceased soldiers in the IDF to be brought home and used later via IVF. Now, let me note, this practice is only somewhat consensual. While some soldiers have opted to consent to this program, much of the substance was collected without prior consent. Now, the reason I call them cum squads is because a deceased soldier doesn't die in a hospital. They usually die in the field. This has led to several sperm banks basically forming squads whose entire job is to go into war zones, extract the substance from the deceased bodies. So yes, in these most recent conflicts, Israel has formed cum squads.
The foundation of all morality.
We went from saving Private Ryan to just saving his privates, okay?
Saving Private Ryan to saving Ryan's privates. Yeah.
We don't need the body. We just need everything else that is his organs.
Only a country like that.
Remember, Aaron, this is God's country.
This.
Remember that? God's country, God's people only. All right?
Oh my God. Oh, man. All right. So I'm going to get 1,000 emails for that one, I'm sure.
We are entering the watch list of Israel.
Meanwhile, the aptly named Dan Boingino, I've been calling him Boingino for, I don't know, it just sounded funny when you write it out, Dan Boingino. He is very much on the side of Mark Levin. He thinks that this laughing about cum squads and all of that stuff is wrong. Oh, I'm sorry.
Boy, oh boy, we have news for him.
You can't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. They are so serious right now over there in Israel.
Are we playing like one of those like don't laugh videos? Is this what's going on?
Oh no. So he's like, oh God, these guys on the right, they're all becoming anti-Semites and they love Hitler. What am I going to do? Because he left an official office in the United States in which he openly said that the Epstein files were nothing and that Epstein definitely killed himself and all of that stuff. He went from that to going back to being a podcaster. A podcaster. He came down to be amongst the scum, us. And he's got a problem with us making fun of the Goy beam. Look how dead his eyes are. Now, I'm mad, all right, Daniel? I'm really mad at Bongino right now. You know why?
Why is that?
Because his return to Rumble was supposed to make my Rumble stock go through the ceiling. And he is fumbling this. He's fumbling it. I'm losing so much money right now. I can't believe it. I need him to stop doing this. And he's mad at everyone. He's mad at Tucker. He's mad at Candace. He's mad at everyone. He's probably mad at Chunk and Anna Kasparian and all these people. He probably hates Megyn Kelly now, too. He's the one holding out. And he's going to tell you what's up.
We have to excise this cancer from our movement right now. It's our movement, okay? It's ours. We built it. Some of us ran for office on it. We knocked on doors for it. We donated to it. We gave speeches for it. We showed up at events. We showed up at rallies. We showed up at every single parade possible. I'm trying to get people to support this cause of freedom and liberty. We are in a really dangerous spot. I have never, in my 10 plus years now doing this, I've seen it bad, but I've never seen it this bad. This portion of people who claim to be part of our movement and our cause, who think it's edgy or cool to talk about how much they hate the Jews, and just so we're crystal clear, so you can shut the up right now about this bullshit. I am not talking about foreign affairs or a foreign government, the government of Israel. You don't like Netanyahu? That is absolutely your right. Make the case, bro. I'm also not talking about censorship. You want to go out there and talk about how much you hate people who are, do your thing as long as you're not breaking the law. What I'm talking about are people who are trying to infiltrate our movement and destroy us, and the lib media is gleefully playing along, who every single thing has become about the Jews, not Israel. Do you understand these people are fucking insane? Do you know where this goes? Do you know where this has always gone? And it is death and destruction. And when you have a choice between civilized man and the demon savages, there's only one fucking choice.
We are demon savages and infiltrators. Did you know this?
No, I do not.
Apparently, we're getting paid by Iran or something. You know, Tucker Carlson and that, slur they started using on him. We are infiltrators trying to destroy the MAGA movement. Daniel, isn't that like the coolest thing ever? We're like spies.
Oh, God. I didn't know we were that deep into this.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That level.
You're in it now, buddy. Those Stripe donations, guess where they came from?
And out of the pen and into the fire. I went from the Italian mafia to just now the agent of the deep state.
Yep, from the Italian mafia to the Qatar mafia. And it's not the only... So here he is again, once again, destroying my Robinhood app. It won't even load anymore. It won't even load anymore. I've lost so much money because of Dan Bongino. Here he is going after Candace. I think it's after Kansas. Yeah, so Kansas. Here he is a little bit more because this is just funny to me. I can't help it. Look at that face. Man, he is so fired up on Adderall right now.
He's got to be very careful. Any more hairs he plucks from his eyebrows, he won't have any.
He's like gripping his desk. He's gonna launch at any moment.
Fuck you.
I apologize. The language is very bad. Bongino didn't used to do this, by the way.
He's worse than me. And I'm pretty bad.
I mean, listen, I personally tried to clean it up because I thought it was kind of corny to swear a lot. Like I heard from Whole Milk Enjoyer, he's like, I like why we talk about dead people, but you swear too much. I'm like, I know, I was angry at everything and kind of an atheist and a horrible person. Back when I started making that, and homeless, back when I started making that show, I'm like, I swore a lot. And I'm sorry. But I stopped because I thought it was corny.
Profanity is got to be used in a right timing. If it's used willy-nilly, then it just feels childish. But if it's used just right, it sets a point.
So Bongino went from never doing this,
sounding like a fourth grader that just found out swearing is funny and fun and edgy.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself, you demonic fucking scum.
Long pause. Oh, he's still paused.
For as much as I hate what just happened, I wish ill on no one, and everyone should restrain their emotions from the other side because they are not on our side. Everyone. Once you go down the road of violence, there's no turning back. There's always someone stronger than you, man. Always. There's a whole lot of people stronger than me.
This is weird. Is this weird? This is weird. He's weird. You hear that? Do you hear that low whistle? It's like a bomb dropping.
Oh, I think I do.
Yeah, that's just Robin Hood right now. My stock is just going down.
And I'm sorry if the language distracts from you, but I can think of no other New York way to say it than fuck you, motherfuckers.
Oh my God.
You deserve to feel the little licks of the flames of hell on every inch of your body.
This is a man who I told my mom to listen to just a few years ago. There's a ferocity in these people on this side of things. And I got one more clip to play of another very famous podcast. And then I might have to do some cuts here because we are at the end of our time.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah?
If you look at the chat, there's a live picture of you trying to fix the Robinhood stocks right now.
Let's take a look. Yeah. It's let me put it over here in the old OBS so people can see my stocks. Where is that? There it is. There it is. Daniel just put this in here.
He's trying. He's really trying to fix it, but it's all panic. It's no stonks. It's all panic.
You know what? What am I doing here? Dan Bongino is right. He's totally right. He's the smartest man on the planet. Everybody listen to Dan Bongino and donate to his stream. Please. The Rumble stocks.
Please, we need to get the stocks. Yeah, we need them to go back up, please.
I'm down $25. I can't lose another $25 if I lose another $25. But yeah, so the lines have been drawn in the podcasting world. And we have chosen a side by being honest and as fun as possible and not cringe as much as we can help it. But there's a lot of people who haven't chosen to do that, including No Agenda. And I don't mean to attack them, but they're on the offense now. Because before, I had some hope. I was like, I love these guys, and they really helped my family through COVID by helping them not go insane. But of late, I've been in contact with several of their listeners ever since we first brought them up. They have been spiraling. And this is supposed to be a show that helps get people out of media narratives. And they're detecting that the cultural temperature is going very hard against Israel. And now they've got an agenda. And now they've got a problem. And they're still, this is crazy, they're still trying to pretend that they don't. And we've listened to them before. I've recommended these people all over the place. I've recommended this show to people who I wasn't even sure could be trusted with it. And I still like the show because their information is good and they do what we do. They do an awesome job of breaking down media narratives, etc. But this one is bad, man. It's bad. I'm afraid it might kill them. The show, that is, not them. Because ever since Curry started, well, let's just say ever since he converted to Christianity, which he appeared on Glenn Beck shortly after, which was an excellent interview, but my little radar went off and it said, this is not good. Because Glenn Beck is known for being extremely pro-Israel. Like he said on a clip we played on the last show that his purpose on earth was to defend the Jewish people in Israel from anti-Semites like us, apparently. And anybody else who has a question about Netanyahu's ideas for Greater Khazaria or whatever. I heard this, and it was brought to my attention by none other than Pete Quinones, friend of the show, and twice interviewed. I would like to have him back. They played him on their show. But here's the little bit that they were going through, and I listened to about a few minutes of this, and man, does it fall flat now.
Did you not receive any emails at all?
Yeah, I got a couple.
I mean, I got, let's see. I'm just looking from my Twitter timeline today. Something simply isn't right about the show. What the hell is happening? Here's another one. It's truly sad. The show used to be a one-of-a-kind breakdown of the news cycle, and just enough crackpot to keep it interesting and open. I personally believe that after journalist Jamie White was murdered, it was a cue to stop talking about certain subjects. This show sucks now.
I did not get that one.
Oh, this is public. This is just on my timeline.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just somebody's bitching. Okay.
Oh, well, I mean, it's nonstop. It's all, I can't even go to Twitter anymore. It's like people just hate me.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, they should hate you.
Well, they hate me
talk like this.
Yes, they hate me for something you say. Here's my favorite. What kind of Christian are you? There's a mountain of evidence in the P. Diddy and Epstein cases showing their deep involvement in satanic cults and sex magic rituals. Yet, for some reason, you keep trying to sell us on the idea they were merely rich guys having orgies. It really makes me question who you really pray to.
And that's one thing I forgot to mention. They don't think that there's anything to the Epstein thing. They think it's a conspiracy theory or something like that. I don't know. Either way, they're trying to downplay it. And they may even personally believe this stuff. But let me get to the part that I wanted to play for you.
Why have you laughed at it like our government is not full of satanic creeps? Surely you know the truth. So stuff like this. And then it's running away into podcasts. This is the Coffee and a Mic podcast.
To separate whether I can talk to somebody and judge whether they know what's going on, or even if they're like controlled opposition, does Israel control the United States, or does the United States control Israel? Because if you tell me the United States controls Israel, one, I either think you're ignorant, or two, I think you're working for them. You know, one of the biggest podcasts in the world is No Agenda. And after what I've heard on that show over the last year, I mean, I'm trying to get people to run away from that. Adam Curry and John C. Dvorak. I mean, just this past Sunday's episode, they were completely excusing. They were saying, "Oh, there were no underage girls with Epstein." Epstein mentions it in the friggin' that I provide children.
Like Michael Tracy. Michael Tracy has been out there denying the undeniable.
And people are like, you know, and you have the Michael Tracy's.
Why do they think that works? I'm baffled by that, because it seems to me that conceding something would give you enhanced credibility, right?
And there it is. Conceding.
Well, we hit the big time with that one.
Conceding into audience capture. Exactly. Wouldn't it make sense that if we really were going for the gold, that we just say, "Oh yeah, this is what we believe," when we clearly believe other things, and we've been controversial throughout almost.
It's hardly controversial.
Oh, it's.
Does that just sound like a couple of boomers now to you? I mean. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
They're like, oh, how dare Pete Quinones say that, if you don't see the pattern, that you're working for Israel. Dude, these guys are buddies with Glenn Beck and other people from this whole cabal on the other side. They're like buddy with people who would be friends with Dan Bongino, etc. And I'm not even saying they're bad dudes. And Curry even points out at the end, he goes, wouldn't we just go for the gold? And it's like, if you were going for gold, but I think you guys actually believe this shit. And that's the part where I go, oh, maybe they aren't on the payroll. Maybe they're actually just maybe they're just actually out of gas, man. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about. This is a clip that was going around of a guy trying to talk to his dad, a boomer, about the Epstein thing.
Have you seen those Epstein files?
No, I don't waste my time looking. I don't really give a shit. I got too many other things to do. I don't worry about it.
You haven't looked into the Epstein files?
No. I gotta, this is part of your problem. You have so much free time, you start diving into bullshit. Who cares?
Who cares? I got too many things to do. Brother, you have homes. Probably homes. At least one home. And millennials have been struggling for long enough and working jobs long enough where they can listen to podcasts that they have become more informed than you. I don't care how many goddamn screens you have, how many news tabs you're going through. I don't care if you know all about Mockingbird or any of this stuff and you're just scrolling through the news all the time. If you think there is nothing going on and you're saying there is no pattern, you are either brain dead or willfully ignorant. And it's another thing too. You could just be old. Neuroplasticity dies off the older you get. And I think that a lot of these people, Bongino included, they are just missing the train. And the train is leaving the station. And my Rumble stock is going with them. Anyway. Not trying to create drama or anything like that. I did respect these guys, and I did listen to them for a while, and a lot of people were like, oh, they're on the payroll, and I'm like, no, man, I think they're just old. Not like us, though. Not like us, Daniel. We're young and spry.
No. We're still really young and have a huge, amazing future ahead of us, you know? We have our brains can still be molded to the way Israel wants it to be.
we can still drink our Dunkin Buckets, and we don't even have to use a straw. We just tip that thing back and let it flow over our face and all that good stuff.
And then make our way over to Buc-ee's and get ourselves a T-shirt and a stuffed animal of, the beaver.
Yep. You remember how we met? I actually have a sketch to explain how we met and knew that we could podcast together. This is a recreation. I paid this actor to do.
Did you listen to his new album yet? Yeah, I didn't really like it though. It was kind of gay. As in, like, yeah, no. I know, I get it. It was pretty retarded. I had holding in most of you, some out none of you. Yeah, I guess it was a little retarded.
Yeah, this is exactly it.
Well, I know the week has only just begun, and there's, we're recording this on Saturday. Sunday's a whole 24 hours. There's things that could happen then. But I hope in the meantime, you have listeners who have enjoyed yourselves, and that we could bring a little levity to the nastiness going on out there in the big, wide world. One last one. You want to see what most dudes are like when they experience soul-crushing news and all this horrible stuff that's going on? This is what you should be like right here. This guy in his car.
Yep.
Well, as always, Daniel, it's been a pleasure. A pleasure.
The end of our time.
Even though things are a little gay and a little retarded right now.
Beginning of the week.
Only a little bit.
Only a little
The many
bit.
laughs we shared.
It's been a pleasure serving you too, everybody. 07s to you in the chat or whatever. Salutes. Hats off. Thank you for your donations and your support. Remember to get in there on the Patreon, guys. It costs as much as a bag of pretzels from the 7-Eleven down the road.
But not as much as the Mountain Dew cologne.
No, which thankfully, with your help, will be provided to Daniel so that he can review it for us live on the air and go to work and have people looking at him weird.
Yeah, remember at me like, why did you just douse yourself in Mountain Dew?
Yeah. Remember to like the show, share it with your friends, comment, say hello, all that good stuff. Everybody, I hope the war doesn't kick off. I hope it's over. But in case it isn't, the Clowntown Chronicle will be here for you in your darkest hour to make you giggle at slop. Stay awake, my friends. Don't get goy beamed. We'll see you next time on CTC.
It's so nice to talk with you. We'll miss you. But we'll see you next Monday. Episode 1, me in a closet, talking to a houseplant, 'cause it's all I've got. Mic on a shoebox, chair from the curb, I say roll the ad, but then English if we had no donors, no patrons at all, we'd mime the episodes on a strip mall wall. Every soundboard effect is just a dial-up tone, and the credits just say, made by me